But first up, Andrea Darlis brings us the story of lost art. So often we forget that our mass-produced building products were once made by hand and were in themselves an art form. Well, Andrea caught up with a stone carver who's keeping a very unique skill alive.
Gargoyles are a place where, in all different cultures throughout history, people could explore the boundaries between natural and supernatural, between human and animal. Right now we live in a very scientific time and we think we've exactly defined what is human, what isn't. But in other times, other cultures, those definitions weren't as clearly defined, and this art form was a place where the edges of the envelope could be pushed and explored and imagination could be turned loose.
According to Walter Arnold, he's one of the few craftsmen left in the U.S. who still specialize in the art of hand-carved stone gargoyles.
The technical correct meaning of a gargoyle is a water spout. It comes from the same root as the word gargle. It means a throat. So a true gargoyle functions on a building as a water spout to help drain the water off the building. But the word has become the generic term that we use for all kinds of fantastic, grotesque figures and creatures. I had a rather brief high school career, entered college when I was 16, and packed in every art history course I could to find out what was possible, to use the people I'd encounter in the art history courses, the old masters, as my teachers. Left college when I was 18, and when I was 20, went to Italy and managed to get into a shop there working with some old master carvers. I was 20 when I went to Italy, spent several years there. I then spent 5 years working on the National Cathedral in Washington, where again I was working under a master carver from a family that had been doing this work for 5 generations.
So Walter, how do you go from this block to this little guy here?
I just start with a block of stone, and then for something like this, I'll take a pencil, start to sketch in my idea, and then take some chisels and carve it. For more complex pieces, I might do more elaborate model or very precise measured drawings.
And how long does it take to make this kind of sculpture?
I guess he's got a couple of days in him.
And does it matter what type of stone you use?
Yes, the stone makes a lot of difference. This is Indiana limestone. I also do a lot with Italian marble, which are both wonderful carving stones, but I use other types of limestone and marble also. When we think of gargoyles, we really think of either the medieval period or the Beaux Arts and Victorian period, the 1880s to 1920s, when so much fantastic architecture was going on. But you can go around to completely different cultures, the Mayan culture, Javanese art, Japanese art, and you'll see this sort of work. It's kind of a place where people could explore the boundaries between what is human and what isn't human. Sculpture has always interested me, and by the time I was 12, I really knew I wanted to work in stone, and at that point I had fallen in love with gargoyles. Everyone was telling me that was a dead art. There was no one who could do it anymore, and there was no interest or need for it. But I was fascinated and decided if it was possible, I'd find a way to do it.
These guys are really starting to grow on me. If you want to see more of Walter's work or learn more about the craft of gargoyle sculpture, just log on to our website, HouseSmartsTV.com, and search for gargoyle.